It's right here in DC. But anyway, man, less about me, more about you. Man, tell us about World War Polo.
Alright, World War Polo Entertainment Group actually was something that's I think we started maybe 2 years ago. Um, one of my first signed artists, Head Rush, he called me. He was my first signed artist then. He was like, man, I think this is what we should do. And so it was more about the music, more or less, and me putting my little change to supporting people who I think, need to be supported. So that's how I started. But like, I had my own little thing that I wanted to project my vision. And I ain't no rapper, but we back in the day we could rap and stuff of that nature. But I'm too old to be jumping around and doing all that. So I was like, man, maybe I want to get into this movie thing. And it was cool until the first thing you think people like, oh no, that's crazy, right? Movies,
yeah.
But I guess the kind of person I am, man, God allowed me to be. Man, all praise to Allah, right? People took it and ran with it before I even got a chance to put my feet to the ground with it. So it was like, all right, so we in the movie game? Okay, so now we promote and we market. We don't got no movies. We don't got no script. And so my partner, he had somebody he went to school with. I'm not gonna shout his name out because he bumped his and everything, but he know who he is. He definitely played a big part in us, getting a script together. So that's your shout out, right? So that's love, though. I did that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, but then his purpose was his purpose, and then we just took it and ran with it. And then once you put me anywhere. How what's it, Puff Daddy? He say you put him in the jungle, he gonna come our way at your chilling, right? So you can't put me around somebody writing a script and think that I'm, now I know how to write a script.
Yeah, I feel you.
You feel me?
I feel you.
You write 16, I know I can write, now I can write a 16, right? So boom. So now we in the movie game. The first movie that we wrote is called Yama Kiyama, I'm Muslim. It's about the last day on earth. I think that more or less us as black people, not just in the DMV, everywhere, we should kind of try to change the narrative, paint more of a positive picture of us. So it wasn't really about the shoot and banging, right? It was like I'm bringing a real reality on like the last day on earth coming, and it's a DMV joint. It's all raw talent. It's us. It's like FUBU. It's for us and it's by us, and however that work. But corny don't sell but so long. They would kind of project that as corny. So I got connected with a brother who initially he was gonna help me with the camera work in my movie, Yama Kiyama. That's done. It's done, but it's being edited. It should be ready to be viewed May the 31st. It's a Friday. So he was telling me about the script that he had, whatever, and he was working on it for a while. And I was finishing my project, so I'm like, it's kind of hard to stay relevant in this kind of business, different than music. 'Cause I could just make another song real quick. To stay relevant, you got to be around other art. You got to share. Like,
exactly.
It's no me doing it by myself in this movie stuff.
Right.
Like when I finish, I got to jump on your joint and then be writing my stuff. And then when your joint finishes, you got to jump on my joint. This is how we stay relevant. We got to kind of help each other. So that's where we at with that. So shout out to Black Set Films and World War Polo Entertainment Group all day.
So let me ask you this, man. I was just saying that we see documentaries, we see movies, we see shows, web series, shot in DC.
Right.
So when do y'all shoot? Is it a certain time, or y'all just shoot any time? Of the day, of the night, of the morning? Because I'll be wondering like, damn, when they shoot this joint? I may always be riding through a certain spot. I'll be like, I ain't see nobody out here with no camera. When they do this?
Man, it's a lot of art forms going on, right? I'm kind of organized, so like, I'm from DC, so if I want to tape right there, I'm gonna tape right there. You know what I mean? That's just how it's gonna work. I know we might need licenses and stuff like that to shoot shooting scenes and stuff, but then because I'm from the street, we overlook that sometimes too. We just go do the shooting scene, and the police, if they come, we go get them on camera too. You feel me? So you know what I mean? So it's like that's how we be just doing it. Like a lot of what I definitely like is that everybody that I'm affiliated with, they have their own art form. So like I'm the general in my army more or less. But I like to say, World War Polo Entertainment Group, we are an army full of generals, meaning everybody is the king of their craft. So it's not like when I say it go, we all gonna have a voice and things. So a lot of us work is what I'm saying. So we gotta kind of like go with people work schedule. But outside of that, the weekends and maybe during the week if we can, and a lot of times things change and things like that. But man, we gets it in.
Y'all had access to a jail?
Yeah, we still do. And y'all want to
I was looking at that joint. I was like,
hey. Man, we got access to a jail on the low. We might got access to a hospital. I ain't going to say the name. And we hopefully, my new joint, Kings of DC, that I'm working on, this joint going to be fire. We're going to have access to a bank. And that's crazy. Like, so it's like a lot of people do a lot of things, but our joint gonna come off different just because our props ain't props all the time. And sometimes like they is. Like at the end of the day, I haven't seen nobody shoot nothing in no real jail. Like you guys some kind of pool to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Real sets.
Real set.
Yeah, you know, I mean, where you doing your films that they like.
And they offer rent. Holla at me. Holla at me.
Okay.
You feel me? Holla at me. Now, they don't. I'm not Todd Perry, so they not forever. You know, they come with expiration dates. So within the time, you know, we can work it out. And my price is light because at the end of the day, if you working and I can get my face in your project just in the back, like, with my camera saying, I'm cool with that. It ain't all about the bread with me. It ain't all about that. It's about, man, us helping each other. Because, like, I think this is the only city that we still caught up on. If we win, we got to do it by ourselves. And I think that's the complete wrong way of looking at the whole process. We got to help each other. If you smart, first thing you got to know is that you can't do it yourself. So, if you selfish, the most selfish person should recognize that I need to help you in order for me to win. So at that, however you look at it, we got to work together. We got to learn how to work together.
So let me ask, when you shoot your movies, shoot your shows, are you shining also the positive light at the end with it? Any type of positivity at the end, because your stories are true.
Yeah,
street stories, right?
They is. All right, now, far as I can't say how
showing a different way.
Okay,
would you do a show that will be?
You know, Washington Bullet is a dope joint, and because I'm not the code like the complete head of that, right? I'm more like the George Soros of that movement, right? I can't say how it's gonna end. But my personal joints, right? Have you ever, I come from back in the day, I'm 40. I come from the era where we had after school programs. And when you watch the little TV shows, at the end of the shows, they had, the content of how they wanted it to review. Don't steal or don't do this. And they have one of the, so that's what I'm more leaning to in Kings of DC. Kings of DC is not for everybody. It's gonna be way turned up. It's gonna be a lot of murder and everything. But if you watch the whole joint, I'm not gonna say it's a narrative that you see. I'm gonna tell you the narrative that I want you to see. One of maybe the actors will come in maybe the last 30, 40 seconds after it's over. I'm you know what I'm saying? Right now we got Percocet epidemic. Okay. So I got maybe a joint about that. So you'll give a little stay off the perch, you feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna slide them joints.
You more so want to show it.
I want to show it. I want to literally show. I don't want to leave it to the imagination. I want to tell you all this happened. Yeah. But look, and that little message, you don't never know how far it could go. Because, it's the little things that made me see life the way I see it. So, I know it ain't for everybody. But it's somebody out there that know the right answer, but they want to see, somebody, that actually doing it, do it. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
And
but
so,
I said that because would you do a story of a guy that I say just changed his life? Was banging doing this thing, whatever it may be, and then he changed his life.
Yeah, I would.
In the end, because there's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I think that's the only way that it's gonna like you're gonna reach the viewers because like we stuck in a certain life that we all didn't choose actually to be in. Like everybody thug life. I get it, right? But that was never our first choice as kids. That's something that, was pushed on us in teenager and coming up. So I think it's just imperative of showing a narrative of how to get out of that and that it's acceptable. Because like if you look at the Caucasian movies and things of that nature, right? They always got happy endings. You know what I mean? Like, why we can't have no happy endings? Like, you know what I mean? So like, if I know dudes that changed their life in real life that we look up to,
right?
Why not paint that picture and show? Like, why not? That's what that's how our whole movement is. Like, if it don't have like a positive thing somewhere in it, I don't really want to be attached to it. And that's how I want my little legacy to be. Like, it's not about the money, all about the money. It's more about the message, because like the message gonna be here a lot longer after your name, my name, and the money gone. The message, you feel me? So I think that's what's important.
But let me ask you this: where you see yourself going in film with the regentrification going on in DC? Because a lot of these locations that are historic, they try to knock them down and take them away where to be good spots to shoot series of movies.
Like, but I'm saying though, right? I still got that Tupac Thug Life in me, right? So I'm gonna rough it.
Yeah,
I'm on my JYB. You feel me? If y'all live there, that's cool. But when I was doing what I was doing in the street, nobody ain't telling me to, I'm going to shoot where I'm going to shoot. And I know that ain't the right way to look at it, but until, like, things start to change where I can, my money a little bit longer and we can take trips and show, outside the DMV, I'm not going to let no one stop me from shooting in the DMV.
Right.
Because while I'm doing something positive is what I'm saying. Because when I was doing things that wasn't so positive, I didn't allow it to just happen that way. I'm just gonna stop because you say stop. But there is ways of doing things and working around, and we'll try not to get in trouble and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, if the story need to be told, then that's the way the story need to be told. And then maybe we'll do a joint on gentrification, because like I'm quite sure that this is not just happening here. Like if y'all like that mute the go-go. Did you see how everybody came out and they stood up?
Yeah.
And now they can play go. I just was up Georgia Avenue yesterday. They back playing it. So what I'm saying is, if we stand for something at any period in time, like, we gonna be good.
Yeah.
And it take people like you and the sister right here, my associate right here, and everybody that's trying to do something positive and get the message out. We the ones gotta stick together, because if they see that it works here, the next generation gonna take it and run with it. That's what I see.
Deep. Yeah, it is happening. Other places we ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
Other places that is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it might not be Chocolate City no more, but it's still the Oreo cookie. You feel me? You feel me? It's a lot of chocolate still here. You feel me?
So the next move for Black Set Films.
Okay. My associate right here, that's Black Set Films. He the general of that. I'm the general of World War Polo Entertainment Group.
Well, the next move for.
Okay. Well, like I said, we got Yamakiyama. I hope everybody go out and watch that joint, because this is gonna be kind of like dope. And this is my first joint. This gonna be epic. Trying to get it played at Greenbelt, hopefully, so I could brag and say, well, my first joint hit the big screen. That's my goal.
It's possible.
But I got Kings of DC coming, and that joint gonna be epic, and it's gonna be you gonna rewind it and watch it, because it's gonna be real. Like, I'm from here. I'm not from somewhere else painting a picture of I'm from here, and I've been here for and I've seen things along the way, and so I want to paint all kind of narrative, but at the end I want to have positive message. I got Yamakiyama, I got Kings of DC. It's gonna begin we gonna start shooting maybe in another month or two. As soon as Washington Butt is over, because I don't want it to collide. I don't want to be in competition with somebody that I plan on doing business with in the future. Because if you don't think about the future, then right now it ain't gonna work. Then I got Be Grateful. That's gonna be a movie kind of like that Will Smith joint, like Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
But it's Be Grateful. It's like my version of something like that, and but it has that kind of thing because I think that's what we need to see. And I got an untitled movie that we thinking about doing. It's about merge. A scary word, right? But that's something we need to hear a lot more of, and it gotta come to the forefront of like us young black men. I ain't that young, but I ain't that old. Us seeing it and talking about it because like it's something that's real. When the last time you been to a wedding? When the last time anybody been, you know what I mean? You know why? Because it's like us that, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, you go get murdered or something, but we know the right things to do. If you planning on seeing 70, 80 years old, then marriage has to be somewhere in it because you're not gonna be a handsome fly dude. Yeah. I'm married with you. I'm Muslim, so you know I'm gonna keep real. Sometimes I be trying to have 2 or 3 wives. Like, you know, I got one. I got one. I ain't never had 2 or 3 yet, but I ain't never not stopped working on it. My wife, she gonna kill me, you know. Hey
man, shout out to World War.